scene where Larry Burton, the 74-year-old man from Greensboro, went missing from. So I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see the house. All right, that is the house. And that's News 2 there right now, trying to interview anybody from there. So, but what's upsetting is if he went missing from this house, if you follow the road down, that is where he would have crossed. Now, he could have gone the opposite direction, which is more residential, but I think they would have found him. But that is where he would have gone, in that direction. And he could be anywhere at this point. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of flooding and heat waves, and he was not in the best of health when he went missing. And there's been some back and forth between me and some other people online about who's truly responsible for him, and I boil it down to three people, or three entities, I should say. You have Moses Cone Hospital, which is the entity that sent him here, saying he was not well enough to be living by himself, because he owns a 3-bedroom house here in Greensboro, and he wanted to go home, but they said no, you can't live on your own. So they left him to his own devices and sent him over to Moses Cone. Now, or Moses Cone sent him over to L&L Family Care Home. Now, per the deeds and everything else that I've looked up, Diane Smith owns that house and bought it with her husband back in 1986. Used the VA loan to buy that house. Now, when they started making it into a business, the family care home business, that was about 2007, and that's when they claimed that they were using it as a veteran care facility or veteran care, trying to get those federal tax dollars. Now, over time, they've, the L&L Family Care Home business has gone defunct, because they didn't do their filing, so they lost their certification from the state. That would be to run as a business, not to run as a care facility. Now, in 2007, when they did get their actual license, they were under the category of mental care health services. That is what they were going under. So I don't know. I don't know if they actually had doctors there or what was going on. But as it stands now, that house is not in any shape to be taking care of people with dementia. They knew he had dementia when he came in. They knew he had dementia when he went missing. And the fact that they didn't notify people right away is absolutely ridiculous. So back to what we are talking here at hand. So there's been some back and forth about who's actually the owner of that business. Now, who owns the business is a woman named Diane Smith, who owns the house. She's owned it since, like I said, 1986. But the administrator, the person that's in the house, who's actually handling the day-to-day, is a woman by the name of Hazel May Foreman. Now, she owned her own care facility called L&H Care, and that was down the street from where this one is. But she lost that one, I want to say, in 2021, and then she looks like she came over here and started working over here. Now, Hazel has got some history here, a lot of evictions, a lot of, financial issues, speeding, got divorced in 2019, these kind of things. So, she seems like somebody who may be a little bit on some bad luck in life. So I don't know. But she has worked for a few people, and there are some people who have been speaking out saying that she had some residents die on her or under her care, but was it just old age or was it neglect? That's the question at hand. We don't know. But News 2 was showing up during their little thing. I had a little chit chat with them, but it comes down to it. Moses comes standing there. Diane Smith owned the business and the building, and Hazel May Foreman ran the day-to-day. So those are the three entities responsible for Larry Burton. And in my position, in my opinion, all three should be charged in his disappearance. All three. So that's all I'm going to say at this point. But Larry Burton needs to be found. He's 74. He has dementia. He's diabetic. And he walked out of there with a catheter still in him. So, and it's been almost 3 weeks. It's been 20 days. Where is it? Where is it? Because If he's not deceased, someone has him somewhere, and he needs to be found. The family needs closure. The family needs their father back, their loved one back. So that's all I can really say at this point. But I'm gonna hop off here. Just you see the picture, post it around, subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff, and keep that family in your prayers, because I don't think things are going to work out the way they want it to. Hello. I don't think it will, because like I said, it's been 20 days, almost 3 weeks, and no one has heard from this man. No one has seen him. There's been nothing. And I don't think he is still alive. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, I showed you where he went missing from. And like I said, he's nowhere to be found. So I don't think he's still alive. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. No, I'm not a police officer. I am not. I'm just somebody who talks about missing people and crime. So what's happening, Lily, is I'm talking about the disappearance of one. It's been 20 days and nobody has seen him, and no one knows where he is. And he has dementia. He's diabetic, and he walked out of the care facility with a catheter still in. It's been, like I said, almost 3 weeks, and no one has seen him. Now, over time, it's come out that the care facility was not a licensed facility, and it's been back and forth about who's actually responsible for the place, who actually owns the place, all that stuff. Now, the owner of the care facility and the owner of the building, the house, is a person by the name of Diane Smith. She bought the house with her husband back in 1986 with a VA loan. In 2007, which is when they created the L&L Family Care Home business, and have been running it as a veteran care facility, mental health facility, or just basically a assisted living facility since 2000. But now all of that that license has been revoked. Don't know when that license was revoked, but they were running it unlicensed. And then you have Hazel May Foreman, who is the administrator of the care facility and was the one in charge of the facility when he went missing. Now, she owned her own care facility called L&H, which was right down the street. Not quite sure when she became an employee of L&H. That's where that went. And she was there, or she was in charge when he went missing. So I know the police are talking about filing charges against her, the DA is, but should it just be her? I think it needs to go after Diane Smith. They need to go after Moses Cone, because Moses Cone sent him. They told the family he was not physically capable of taking care of himself, but he had dementia. So no, of course he couldn't take care of himself, but they sent him there. So I don't know. Like I said, at the end of the day, this man is still missing, 74, not best of health, and could literally be anywhere. Because over the last 3 weeks, we've had massive heat waves, we've had catastrophic flooding and rains. So he could literally be anywhere. But I'm going to hop off here. I just wanted to go live from location, which I did. And keep your prayers going for Mr. Burton, because we don't know where he is and his family wants him back. So this is Rebecca with Red True Crime. I'm going to hop off here. Everybody have a wonderful day and be weird, be safe. Bye.